are listening to Encrypted Codes series. So in the last episode, we spoke about Nimrod, his right hand, Haman, and the armies that they use or they used to get whatever they want. And we were talking about the Great Silicon Valley. Now moving forward, let's shed some more light on what is going on and what has been decreed to us through the numerous revelations. And those revelations are preserved in various cultures and traditions across the globe. Starting from the valley. A valley is something that is a flatland, right? If you look at the geographical and the physical aspects of a valley is something that is a flatland, and as it has been revealed in different ABrahmic accords. And that has also caused a lot of confusion among the scientific communities and the theosophical communities. We will clear that up in the later episodes, but I shall give you a hint right now. Just to paraphrase it, that God, the Creator, the Almighty, has decreed that He has spread the land, means earth, like a valley. Now pay attention to the encrypted codes in here. Spreading the land like a valley. And a valley looks like a tabletop. Yup. A valley is like a tabletop surrounded by the mountains. So it's a flat plane or a dimension where life in a specific physiological form can exist. So the indication is also towards planet Earth as being a flat land where the life can emerge and sustain, as it is a flat land that is surrounded by the pillars of energy. Yes, the pillars of energy that you can also translate as mountains of energy, exactly like the nebulas, the gas clouds that surrounds the galactic plane, where our solar system exists. And if you look at the solar system, if you pay close attention to it, you can easily see a ginormous, mountainous, look-alike region that is surrounding our life-containing planet, that is Earth. So Earth technically is in the middle, and these asteroid belts are surrounding the planet Earth exactly like mountains. Now by looking at these ginormous gas clouds, or as they are called as nebulas, these nebulas are also surrounding, these nebulas are also containing different physical planes. Those physical planes can be planets, planetoids, and other region of space that can be used as a physical flat land that appears to us, and also those biological beings that can preserve and operate within the physical dimension only. Just like animals, humans, insects, etc. So now, as we look beyond the wordplay here, we can also see that the Earth is surrounded by meteorites. You can observe them now with a telescope, and they are rocks that can also be symbolically connected towards mountains, because mountains are made up of rocks. Now if you look at the Enuma Elish, the Atrahasis, which means the sacred tablets that we have found from the Eastern esoteric traditions. Now the notion that is conglomerated, where an advanced race came down from the rogue planet and created slaves to worship them and work for them. Yes, the Enuma Elish talks about the story of creation that has been taken by pretty much every single civilization that existed prior to the discovery or the writing of that code and preserving it on these clay tablets. The story was narrated and transmutated or transmitted by the people orally. Now the Enuma Elish talks about a slave race that's been created to work for the supreme race, that race that came from another rogue planet, and that rogue planet is traveling beyond the Kuiper's belt. Yeah, something that is in the far-flung regions of our solar system. It's miles and miles and miles beyond Pluto, right? And once every 10,000, in some interpretation 26,000, in some interpretations 50,000, and in some interpretations it can be 1 million to 10 million years, depending on how you calculate times. In my opinion, time was not calculated like we do it nowadays, back in those times when these clay tablets were scribed. So that rogue planet is traveling beyond the edges of solar system, and it had a great civil war that resulted in those advanced being traveling inwards towards the solar system, ended up finding Mars and then planet Earth, where they created the slave race. Now, this story, or the historical hypothesis, exists in pretty much in a 360 format. If you go around the globe, you'll be able to connect the dots as you speak to the locals, or you speak to the elders, or you speak to learned people. Even in the most primitive tribes, you'll be able to compile them together and then be able to stitch them together, and you will see there is a constant connection with the Enuma Elish in a specific manner, in some angles or in some format, and their own relevant traditions, including the Abrahamic Accords, peace be upon them. There is always a mention in the Bible, in the Quran, in the Bhagavad Gita, that there were advanced and hyper-advanced civilizations that existed prior to humans. They were somehow genetically modified, and that genetic modification made them arrogant.